Hello, it's Friday again and time for another one of our clips. So today we thought it would be interesting to start talking about negative emotions, so-called negative emotions, what we would like to call negative emotions from our perspective and from the human perspective is what I mean by that. It is a quite big subject, so we will do this, take a part of it today, and we will continue next Friday and see if we need to continue from there on as well. But it's a very interesting subject because negative emotions is something that we have a tendency to try to avoid in different ways. It could be that we're trying to hide the fact that we're feeling it, or we feel negative emotions towards ourselves for feeling negative emotions, etc., etc. So in order to clear this out and to learn perhaps a bit more about how we can handle our so-called negative emotions, we thought it might be a good idea to start talking about it today. So I'll leave it all to our dear Mr. Universe to start, and I'll jump in whenever. He's just going a bit deeper. That's all.
So you are all born with all kinds of emotions. Remember that small children have a lot of anger. It doesn't make them bad. It's just an emotion so they can express themselves. So all of you have the whole
Toolbox.
Yes. Even hatred. Hatred is a very
charged word.
Yes.
It has a, whenever you say hate, it has an effect on people. But in I would say the very most cases, hatred is only a lot of small streams of anger. It comes from a feeling of having gone through the same thing, having been angry at the same thing too many times. Same little annoyance who's been going at you for, well, when you've had it long enough, or been through it long enough, or whatever it is, then you start to hate it. It is very rarely connected to the person itself, but rather, or if it's towards a person, it's rather towards its actions or inactions, towards what he or she is saying or not saying. So it's more to do with that than the person itself in most cases.
And your negative emotions might come from past lives also. So even though you haven't been in a situation that trigger anger or hatred or feeling of loss or whatever it is,
bitterness,
yes,
envy,
doesn't have to come from this lifetime. It might be from another life, or it might be from other people around you. also. You are affected by other people.
Yes, I guess we all are, but some of us are more easily affected than others.
Yes.
So whether we are aware of it or not, it happens to all of us in different degrees.
And all of you, well, most of you, could feel if there is anger in the air in a room.
Yes, if we come into a room, we'll feel immediately if there's been
A fight, some kind.
Yeah.
Mm.
The
Or,
gun smoke is still in the air, so to speak.
and also happiness and laughter. So you are affected by others' emotions also. And then you feel it like it's your own. But the reason for that you have all these emotions is so you can feel the difference between the good and the bad, to get more erfarenhet.
Experience.
Yes. The motpoler.
The dual
Contrast,
aspects,
yes.
yeah, the contrast, the dual aspects of emotions. You have hatred, you have love, and so on.
So if you have just happiness, how can you see the difference if that's the only feeling you have? So,
How will you know that you're happy if happiness is all you ever know?
and that you'll have on the other side. That's not the reason you're here. So you have to wait a while. For some time, for some people for a long time, but
Well, that's
will
also a
come
reason why you don't have to fear death.
exactly. So there are reasons for that. You have all these emotions. The emotions helps you to grow, to learn more about yourself and about life itself. And it shows something. A negative emotion gives you a direction. It shows something. It might be that you are very bored. So in that case, what do you have to do to lift your energy? So boredom, I think it's called that.
Yes.
Maybe it's your relationship, or maybe it's that you're not on the right job, or you need a vacation or hobby.
We always need vacations. Every one of us always needs a vacation, right?
Well, you think so.
Yeah, well, yeah. Another thing that's important to mention in this, if you excuse me, is that when it comes to our children, we always say that it's good for them to be bored because that enables them to come up with new ideas.
Exactly.
And what's the difference? I mean, in the bigger perspective, we're all children. So it's good for us to be bored because boredom helps us it helps us find new ways to expand universe, to expand ourselves. So therefore boredom is a good thing.
So the negative emotions are there to help you to see differences, and help you to have it as a driving force,
Yeah.
to do something, to act on something. And for some people, you get stuck in these negative emotions, but we'll talk about that another time.
I guess you can see it as emotions in itself if we are the vehicle, we've been talking about seeing ourselves as a car previously, or the vehicle for the vessel, the vehicle, whatever you want to call it. The emotions are, you have the board in front of yourself when you drive, and you have the oil meter, and you have the gas meter, and you have all of this, water and so on. They have indicators, right? The emotions are the indicators. If the gas meter shows that it's almost empty, well, some of us might see that as a bad sign. And some of us might think, or even the same person might think, it's a good thing that I noticed it's low on gas. It doesn't mean it's good, it doesn't mean it's bad, it's just an indicator. And it's the same thing with our emotions. If you see the emotions as indicators in the car, or indicators in whatever instrument you're looking at, it's indicators of that something needs to happen here in order to put you back on track again. You need to observe that, okay, this is going on. How can I get from an empty tank of gas to a full tank of gas? Well, I have to get to a gas station and fill it up again.
Exactly.
So I would call the emotions, whether it be what we would call bad or good, indications just on our instrument.
It makes you more conscious of what happens in your life.
If we choose to.
If you choose,
Choose to.
Yes, of course. And right now, something very exciting is that if you can see in the whole world, now the feminine energy has used this anger to act on something, to show that this is not okay anymore.
To rise.
Yes, to rise. And that's not only for, it's not only for women, but it's also for men, because many men have the same feeling towards other men. And of course, women also. Towards women that
towards other women.
Try to be men, so to speak.
Yes.
So now you can see the good thing, that this energy, and it's on the collective consciousness, that it helps all of you to go into another shift. That
to rise above what we were used to be into what we will be.
And that will help everyone when it's balanced. It's not balanced yet, but it will be. So, yes. So now you know why negative emotions are good, if you can see it in that way. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to feel it all the time. Then you're stuck. That's something else. So we'll help you with that.
Next episode.
Yes. So I think this is...
Yeah.
It's all.
Yeah, well, if you say it is, I guess it is. What was it we were saying yesterday? I don't quite remember. Anyway, well, if you have any questions about this, or you want us to go deeper into any specific area here, when it comes to this, we will talk more about fears and more about other negative emotions next week, and how to handle these emotions when they come up, and how to look at it from a different perspective. Because it's all a matter of how we want to look at things. We always have a choice on how we choose to look at things. So until then, stay aware and stay well. Sorry for that. Anyway, lots of love and big warm hugs to all of you. And we hope to see you next week. Until then, ta-ta for now.